Here with reaction, Fox News medical contributors Dr. Marc Siegel and Dr. Nicole Saphier. We have a couple of questions we have about different folks, but Dr. Siegel, let's have you take on Senator Fetterman because he had a stroke. Just listening to him speak, it was painfully obvious that something was wrong, but he's been in the hospital now twice in the last 2 weeks.
You know, Jason, first of all, the last hospitalization was supposedly for dizziness and lightheadedness, but he stayed several days, and I was wondering what exactly was going on. You know, we don't always get the real story here. I like that he's being this transparent about depression, because clinical depression is very common after stroke. It's at least 1/3 of stroke patients, probably more. It's biochemical in the brain, plus the fact that a person struggles to get back to where they want to be and they can't be, so they get a lot of anxiety and depression. This is a severe depression if it's requiring hospitalization, and studies show it's going to require different medications, a lot of therapy. I'm glad he's coming forward with this, but you already made the main point, which is the issue of fitness to serve. And we had concerns about this before. So on the one hand, we admire Fetterman's courage here and his seeking treatment and being transparent. On the other hand, we worry about the people of Pennsylvania who elected him. What are they getting in terms of a senator, in terms of somebody that's apparently not going to be up to the job and is struggling mightily? So I have those 2 points to make.
Well, I hope he's all right. Look, but he's 6 weeks into a 6-year Senate run, and I hope he gets better. Let's move on and shift gears here to somebody I think America loves and the world loves, and that is actor Bruce Willis. His family provided a grim update on his health, announcing that the Die Hard star has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. And Dr. Saphier, I can barely pronounce that, let alone understand what it means and what kind of diagnosis it is. So help us understand what Bruce Willis and his family are going through.
Well, Jason, it's quite the disheartening diagnosis that Bruce Willis's family has relayed that he has been now diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. It is essentially an umbrella term for a type of dementia that affects the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. It is one of the more rare dementias, accounting for about 10 to 20% of all dementia cases. It tends to present a little bit younger. Bruce Willis is still in his 60s. And it is a little bit difficult to diagnose because some of these symptoms can be ambiguous. And as Dr. Siegel just said, referencing Senator Fetterman, emotional and mental health are absolutely tied to physical health. So this is going to be a very challenging road for Bruce Willis and his family. I just hope that they have some comfort knowing how much he has given us in terms of entertainment and his persona. And I hope that they can all come together as a family and just be there for each other. And we wish them all the best.
Oh, I know. He's made so many people love his work and put smiles on so many people's faces. I wish him too the best in everything. I want to shift gears real quickly here. After weeks of delays, President Biden finally had his physical yesterday, and the White House physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, well, he kind of laughably gave him a thumbs up, saying, quote, vigorous 80-year-old male who is fit to successfully execute the duties of the presidency, but has been noted a couple of times, noticeably absent from Biden's health evaluation was a mental status exam. As concerns over his cognitive decline grow, it seems to be obvious most any time he's in front of a camera. Could you each quickly give me kind of a 30-second view of what we're supposed to make of this, Dr. Siegel?
Well, I'm concerned about the stiffened gait that he's had for a year now, that they once again pointed out that they said was due to sensation loss in his feet, peripheral neuropathy, as well as spinal cord disease, arthritis. But they noticeably didn't talk about brain imaging, because when you have a stiffened gait, it can also be due to something in the brain. No brain imaging, and as you just said, no extensive cognitive testing on someone that's frequently disoriented and makes all kinds of cognitive errors. We call them gaffes, but they're really cognitive errors.
Dr. Saphier, what's your take on what we're seeing?
Yeah, mental fitness is just as important as physical fitness, and especially if someone of the age as the president, it is prudent that you do a comprehensive cognitive evaluation. We would do that for any of our patients Just because he is the president doesn't mean that he gets to skip one. In fact, it is more prudent that we do one at his age because he has a much higher risk of cognitive decline at the age he is now, and he will continue to be higher risk as he continues to age. It's prudent that they do this and they're transparent with the American people.
Yeah, Congress should actually make this part of the law. We don't need to pick on somebody specifically, but that should be part of the law. If you're going to have your hands on the nuclear codes and you're not even able to fly an airplane, you're going to fly the country and the free world, there probably should be more in-depth analysis rather than the political spin that we got out of the doctor saying, oh, he's vigorous and he'll be doing just fine. But hey, I'm not the doctor. You two are. But thanks for joining us tonight on Hannity. Do appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, coming up.